So you can't compare him to the time with Cunningham. He's a different animal now.
Pro Boxing fans here with Teddy Atlas. Teddy, always a pleasure seeing you once again in Riyadh. How are you, sir? How's things?
You know what? I'm with people that are good people. That I'm fortunate enough to have a feeling of people that ask me to come here that are people that care about people. So that means I'm good. Anytime you're around good people, that you feel good people, you're doing okay. You're doing all right. You know, I had a pretty serious injury last time I was here, and I had to go home and get reconstructive surgery. And I'll never forget how the people here treated me, how much outpouring of care and love came to see if I was okay, and how people like Turkey Al-Sheikh and all his people, and Spencer Brown, all of them, how they all reached out to help me, to see what I needed when I was hurt, real far away from my home. That's not a good feeling when you get hurt and you're with your son, far away from home. So it really helps when good people show you that, don't worry, we care about you. They don't just say, you're on your own. That's one of the reasons I'm here, because I'm around good people. And that's always a gift. It's always a blessing.
I do want to ask you about the main event, Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk, for all the marbles, for all the belts. Let's talk about a few narratives that are getting played for this fight. People are saying, look, Oleksandr Usyk, he might be weak to the body. Teddy, you watch a lot of Oleksandr Usyk. Do you feel like
he's no denying he got hurt in the body in a couple of fights? The Joshua fight and obviously the Dubois fight. So there's no getting around that. And he may have been dropped in the amateurs by Beterbiev by Beterbiev. He may have been dropped by Beterbiev, I believe, in amateurs too. So look, Usyk is a real tough guy like Fury is. He knows how to do one thing really better than most. He knows how to win. He's been known how to win since he was a freaking teenager. You know, he won the gold medal in the Olympics. He won the cruiserweight, consolidated all the titles, and then he won the heavyweight. And just to show that it wasn't a fluke, he beat the guy again in his home country. You know, a good fighter in Joshua. He knows how to win. People don't look at that as an asset. They look at the jab, they look at, the footwork, they look at those kind of physical skills. But that is a skill to know how to win. At the end of the day, yeah, he's been hurt to the body. Would that be part of the thinking on the Fury camp? It should be. It should be. If it's not, they're missing some. But here's the thing. Fury is so big. It's very rare that you see guys that long, that big, that really dedicate to the body. It's not easy to be dedicated to the body when you're that big. He can go to the body. He's very athletic. I've seen Fury do it. But it's not a natural thing for somebody that big. So it will be interesting, because I'm sure they're going to have to incorporate that into their fight plan, because it would be silly not to. But you know what the most important part, if we're going to get down to brass tacks here and down to, what really matters, it's going to be the jab for both guys. Because if Fury uses he can use his size two ways. Come forward, impose his physicality, his will on someone. They both have great wills. They've both shown that. Or he can use his size on the outside with his wingspan, with his reach, and control the outside and make it very hard for Usyk to get into what he does well. Counterpunch, make you miss, make you pay, take defense and create it into offense. It will be very hard to do that if Fury uses his jab and his reach in a consistent manner to control that space, that range. And on the other side, what do I say? The jab, for me, is the most important element of this fight. If I was on the side of Usyk, and he's got nothing but good people around him, as Fury does. But if I was on that side, you know what the one thing I'd be saying? We're not going to lose because of the jab. We might lose some other reason, but we're not going to let this guy beat us with the jab. The whole camp would be concentrated for me on how to negate Fury's jab, how to make sure he doesn't dominate us just with that jab.
Just going off that quickly, Tony Bellew is saying that Tyson Fury maybe struggles with smaller movers. Do you see that? Do you see enough from the Cunningham fight, maybe even the Wallin fight, that Wallin's quite a big head?
News for you. Cunningham fight was 400 years ago.
Yeah.
He's evolved into a different fighter. Maturer, mentally more confident in so many ways. You got to give both guys a lot of credit, but you got to give Fury a lot of credit. There's a guy that, from what I understand, he didn't have a lot of formal training. He's been a work in progress, really, which is remarkable that he won the heavyweight title. But the last few years, as far as I can deem, it's been maybe the only time he's been getting real formal teaching and training. You know, he grew up around a fighting family. His father, everybody, a fighting family. It's in his blood. But as far as formal teaching, you know, basics, X's and O's, that kind of stuff, I think he's been just learning that the last few years. So you can't compare him to the time with Cunningham. He's a different animal now.
Teddy, I think you've got to go and do a broadcast. So after this, I think there's only you right now.
Okay.
Yeah.